Did you hear about the latest diet? Probably not, because there seems to be a new one created every 15 minutes, maybe more. We reviewed over 100 diets here on the YouTube coaching channel and discovered there are literally diets whose names start with every letter of the alphabet except for one. Every letter! And for some letters there were dozens. In this video, I'll fill you in on 5 of the most effective diets, provide a few important considerations along the way, and of course, I'll let you know which letter is missing from among those top 100 plus diets, and why that probably isn't likely to last very much longer. I'm Dr. Bradford Cooper of the Catalyst Coaching Institute, where we partner with current and future health and wellness coaches and so many others to move toward this idea of better than yesterday. If this is your first time on the YouTube coaching channel, we really appreciate you joining us. Now, out of the gate, let's talk about this word diet. Many people don't realize that it comes from the Greek word dieta, which means way of life. Way of life, folks. Think about the diets you may have tried during your lifetime. Did they represent a way of life or a temporary game with temporary results? My first memory of diets as a child was my parents eating grapefruit with every meal as part of this grapefruit diet thing. Did it work? I have no idea. I was probably 7 years old at the time, but it's a classic example of how many diets out there are built. Whether you're a health and wellness coach or someone looking for the healthiest way to guide your own nutritional pursuits, please keep this concept of a way of life in the forefront of your mind as you go through this. Here are 5 of the top diets out there. Number 5, the Flexitarian. This one combines the word flexible and vegetarian. So that gives you a pretty good sense of the whole structure of this one. The word originates with registered dietitian Don Jackson Blattner, who noted you don't have to eliminate all meat from your diet to reap the benefits of being a vegetarian. It puts a focus on a generally vegetarian plant-based diet most of the time, with an occasional burger, chicken, or fish as the urge hits. Number 4 is the DASH diet. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. It's recommended by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute to help reduce issues with high blood pressure. It places a focus on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, low-fat dairy, and it leans away from fatty meats, full-fat dairy, some oils, and sugar-laden drinks and other types of sweets. It limits sodium to 2,300 milligrams a day and eventually down to 1,500. Number 3 is intermittent fasting. This is the anomaly on our list. Instead of focusing on what we eat, it focuses on when we eat. Now, there are a variety of formats with which you can integrate in intermittent fasting, but the most popular is the 16-8 strategy. In a nutshell, you eat all of your food during a consistent 8-hour window of time. For example, you might take your first bite of the day at 11 a.m. and finish your last bite by 7 p.m. Frankly, once the pattern's established, we've tried this one, it's a relatively easy approach that not only provides benefits in terms of weight management due to you're basically skipping one meal a day and you're eliminating late night snacking, but it may also provide some additional benefits in health and wellness. If you want to dig into this one a little bit more, we were fortunate to have one of the world's leading researchers on the topic, Dr. Mark Mattson of Johns Hopkins, join us on the Catalyst Health, Wellness, and Performance Coaching podcast. That episode's turned out to be one of the most popular we've ever done. So again, we'll pop a link down below if you want to tune into what he talked about. Number 2 is the Volumetrics. This strategy, coined by Penn State University nutrition professor Barbara Rolls via her book by the same name, it doesn't eliminate any foods. Instead, it provides a straightforward way of reducing the density of the meals you choose to eat. In short, it places foods into one of 4 categories, ranging from low to high density. Low density foods would include non-starchy fruits and veggies, while high density foods would be candies, cookies, butter, among other things. This one builds 3 meals, snacks, and desserts into your day with a focus on the lower density categories in those 1 and 2 as your cornerstones. You as an individual decide how strict you want to be. The number 1 rated diet across multiple reviewers is the Mediterranean diet. The name comes from the idea that those living near the Mediterranean Sea live healthier and longer lives. It's important to note that there isn't a single Mediterranean diet. For example, the French and Italians eat very differently, as do the Greeks and the Spanish. However, there are some common approaches across all these populations, including low amounts of red meat, sugar, and saturated fat, along with greater intake of produce and nuts. If you want to look into this one, a nonprofit called Old Ways, which is in partnership with the Harvard School of Public Health, well, they offer some good tools and resources that you could potentially start with. Now, wait a minute. What about keto, paleo, HCG, Dukan, some of these other popular diets we're hearing about? Well, those are all on more the extreme, and our goal with this video is to focus on the original meaning of the word diet, way of life. Those don't generally do well in the annual rankings of most effective diets either. But of course, every diet has proponents, and please don't hesitate to mention your favorite in the comments below. We've had several well-known experts as guests on the podcast I mentioned earlier, the Catalyst Health Wellness Performance Coaching Podcast. And just a reminder to the coaches out there that while it's important for us to stay up to date on the latest diets, nutritional advice is not in our scope of practice. If one of our clients is looking for specific advice around nutrition, it's best that we partner with someone who has expertise in that area. So, which letter of the alphabet is missing from the list of 100 plus diets we reviewed? Q? Yes, Q! Obviously, with this video being produced in 2020, it's likely to change really soon with the obvious option, if it hasn't already. I'm also thinking the quick diet or the quantum diet also have kind of nice rings to them, but I'll leave that to one of you out there to address. There are all kinds of additional tools and resources to improve your coaching and your life available at catalystcoachinginstitute.com. You can see that link down below. Or I'd love to have you check out this video over here if you have time to hang out with us for a few more minutes. This is Dr. Bradford Cooper of the Catalyst Coaching Institute. Thanks for joining us on the journey.